Everyone, welcome to the show. So, America's second biggest liar, I guess you could say, he was sentenced today, and I have some details to share about his reaction, how he pleaded for mercy. I am, of course, talking about George Santos. So, before I dive into those details, do me a huge favor. Please hit the subscribe button below this video. It is free. It's a way that you can help to support the show. And I want to give a huge shout out and a big thank you to everyone who helps the show to keep it going with donations. So, on to the news about George Santos. Santos, as you all know, he lied about virtually every aspect of his life, including, something as minor as being a volleyball pro, and then as sick and disturbing as his mother dying in the September 11th terrorist attack. There's just nothing out of bounds or, too far out there for George Santos to lie. He was also outed for scamming people out of money. There was that grotesque case where he stole money that was supposed to be given to a homeless veteran who was trying to save his dog that was dying of cancer. You guys, I'm sure, remember that. Well, all of those lies, all of that unethical behavior led to very much unwanted media scrutiny, as he found out, because they turned up actual evidence of lawbreaking, of violations of the law that occurred over many years. So charges were filed. Santos was indicted. He ended up taking a plea deal. He pleaded guilty to 7 counts of wire fraud and 2 counts of aggravated identity theft. And this week, in a sentencing memo to the court, Santos attorneys had asked for only 2 years in prison. That was the mandatory minimum that he would serve. Santos also wrote to the judge and he begged for leniency, and he seemingly feigned remorse. He told the court that he was, quote unquote, profoundly sorry for his crimes. But then he was defiant about being defiant. So Santos wrote, quote, "Every sunrise since that plea has carried the same realization. I did this. Me. I am responsible. But saying I'm sorry doesn't require me to sit quietly while these prosecutors try to drop an anvil on my head." So that was in response to the government sentencing memo, because they called Santos unrepentant and they shared some of his social media posts. And in one of these posts, Santos referred to the Justice Department as a, quote, cabal of pedophiles. So, not exactly how you win over a judge, right? And you can take issue with the fact that the government was asking for more than 7 years without calling them pedophiles. There's some gray area there, I think. Anyway, Santos claims he is a scapegoat. That was the word he used. I don't know what for. I don't know how exactly he's a scapegoat when these are his crimes. But anyway, he told the judge, quote, "Contesting the severity of a proposed sentence is not the same as contesting guilt, and punishing protected speech because it questions punishment should trouble anyone who values fair prosecution over personal vindication." And Santos is still telling lies. So he is supposed to be paying restitution to his victims. In a court filing, he claimed that he's earned just over $358,000 from making those cameo videos that I mentioned a while back. These are videos for people who don't know. If you're an influencer, if you're a celebrity, people can commission a video from you, like wishing someone a happy birthday or something like that. So he started making these videos after he got kicked out of Congress, and he said that's how much money he made. Well, that contradicts what he told the probation department, because he told the probation department he made approximately $400,000 in the first month of selling those cameo videos, and that he's now making an average of about $5,000 a month. And then he also told two different stories about the money he was paid by a documentary filmmaker. He told prosecutors he received 200,000, but then he told the probation department it was 250,000. So I don't know which amounts are correct, but he has yet to pay his victims a single penny in restitution. The guy made, according to him, $400,000 in 1 month, and he has not paid a dime. And then you might recall he asked for a delay in his sentencing because he said, oh, I want to be able to make as much money as I can and pay what I owe and pay these people back. So totally duped the court. So in court today for the sentencing hearing, Santos breaks down crying. He begs for mercy. And U.S. District Judge Joanna Siebert, I think is how you pronounce her name, she is presiding over this case. She was not impressed. She was not moved by his crocodile tears or his arguments. So Judge Siebert asked, where is the remorse? She asked Santos that. And then right before she sentenced him, which she ended up sentencing him to more than 7 years in prison, the judge told him, quote, Mr. Santos, words have consequences. You got elected with your words, most of which were lies. So she gave him 87 months, which is exactly what the prosecutor had requested. And then he has been given until July to basically get his affairs in order and then show up. Like she is telling him, you need to show up, you need to self-report and go to prison. So now we're going to see, is Trump going to pardon him? Is he going to give him a total pass? I don't know. And then Santos has talked out of both sides of his mouth on that issue as well, because on his podcast, someone asked him, well, would you ever ask Trump for a pardon? And he's like, oh, you bet your ass I would. And then this week, he told the New York Times, no, I wouldn't request a pardon because I need to take, quote, accountability and responsibility. Guy is so full of shit. Clearly pathological. I'm no Freud, but something tells me. Anyway, so we'll see what Trump does. I don't know if Santos sufficiently sucked up, but I guess we'll find out, huh? All right. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like this video. Please share it. Subscribe if you have not. If you can donate, truly appreciate it. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.